It's the Real Angler Show, live here on Rough Edge FM. And now, here's your host, Kevin Brennan. Real Radio with Kevin Brennan, right here on Rough Edge FM. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, man. How are you doing today, Scotty?
I'm doing great.
First
so
off,
far, so good.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the podcast studio. How many podcasts did you do out of this studio? Do you remember? Did we do a couple?
We did a couple, 3 or 4, maybe. Yeah. We did a whole bunch at the other studio, at Rough Edge Studios.
Yes, sir. At the what is it? The
House of Magic.
House of Magic,
White Rabbit Magic Shop. Yes,
yeah.
Indeed.
And today we have a guest that has been a big part of my mentorship and development in networking and business and branding. And he was one of our regular guests back at the other spot a couple of times during his Latino Business Expo. And I was actually at one of his mini mixers yesterday. That's always great. And our guest today is the one and only legendary Adam Casillas. But today he's ventured out. He's the king of networking. If you're not networking, you're not working is his slogan pretty much. But he's on a new venture, a new adventure with the West Coast Outdoors and Sportsman's Expo. Adam, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure, man. You're our first. So you're our first of 2024. And we're going to start doing this weekly out of this studio. So again, thanks for being one of our first guests now that we're back in action.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here, and I appreciate your guys' support. As always, looking forward to doing business with you.
Yeah. So when I started with Adam, it was with a little backstory real quick. When I started with Adam, he was doing the Latino Business Expo. Real Anglers Fishing Show was the vendor at that time. And I was looking for small businesses locally to advertise on my show because I was on Channel 3 at the time, KEYT, and I was looking for local advertisers to help with advertising slots. And that's when I started doing maybe short video commercials for when we do bear bites and a couple other small businesses. But then after one of the Latino Business Expos, I asked Adam, do you think some of those businesses would help with helping our kid program? We weren't even a nonprofit yet. It was still Real Anglers Kids Fishing Days. And Adam here talked me into going nonprofit and actually was served on the board for the Guppy. So again, that's how far we go back in our interactions of networking over the TV show and the Guppy program itself.
Well, my relationship with Kevin has been unique. First time I met him I was making him a custom drink at a sushi bar back in the day. Something called a banana cognac that I never heard of, but I figured it out in my head and made it for him. But that was my introduction to Kevin. Then after that, we talked in the parking lot a little bit, and I told him about our expo. And from there on, fast forward, 10 years, we're working together, and we've been collaborating on a lot of different projects with support for one another. One of the reasons we've decided to do this show here locally in Ventura County, the West Coast Outdoor Sports Fishing, RV, and Boat Show, is because our relationship with the fishing community here. And, Kevin's a big part of that. Real Anglers, Real Guppies, Little Guppies, Community Kev, whatever you support, whatever you're involved with him, it's always usually leading towards something good. At the end of the day, I've always told all my nonprofits that are doing good things, there's not to be ashamed of making a living doing something good and positive for other people. And that's one of the things that are important to me. And one of the reasons I support Kevin and involved with him. The West Coast Outdoor Show, of course, Community Kev will be there.
With the podcast, too.
With the podcast. And we brought that to the community because we decided that it's time that we bring a show back to Ventura County here at the Channel Islands, and the Ventura County Fairgrounds is the perfect setting for it. We're already at over 100 vendors, and we're growing into the second room, and we've already got the outside space 95% sold out, gone. The event was received very well. We're extremely excited about the show. We can't wait to do it. We've already booked the venue for the next 7 years. That's as long as they'll let me book out. And it's here to stay. The West Coast Outdoor Sports Fishing Show Expo is not going anywhere. So I really appreciate Kevin and everything that he does to help me promote and push my product, my events.
Well, yeah, seeing your Latino Business Expos grow from the hotel there, what was that?
60 vendors to 120 vendors.
Yeah, so seeing Adam grow his events and the kind of atmosphere that he has, I mean, we haven't missed an expo in 8 years, probably. I know at least, or 8 events. No, I know it's been more than 4 years, but because we had the pandemic that slowed us down, and that was 2-3 years ago, and then we were doing it before that. But that's the only way I think that I was able to gain the confidence and understanding when I would go to like ICAST. I always give that to people when they say, how does this networking, Kevin? Does it really pay off? Well, it's kind of hard to say if you think because you got a couple business cards the day of the event that it paid off. This is how you start a relationship with people. And then it fosters itself from there and grows. But then learning how to talk to people at a table and how to do a setup and how to have the right marketing part, like I say, about branding. Like if you see Adam, he's always wearing his brand head to toe. And things like that I'm able to adopt myself, again, through the mentorship that he's given me, and then travel across the country to ICAST and the fishing expos and do other expos is because of the repetitions I got at your expos. But the point to that at the beginning was seeing how you've grown your Latino expo. So I know that this step into this arena you're gonna kill it.
Well, we've been received very well locally here. We got a lot of support from a lot of good executive yachts, boat specialists, Freedom Boat Club, Duffy Boats, a lot of the local marine maintenance people that are here. They're excited. They're happy that it's close. They don't have to, go get a hotel room and spend thousands of dollars staying at a place to hope that they make ends meet. Now they can, drive here, set up, and then drive back home and stay at their own house. And, the people that are coming in from out of the area have already showed no concern about where they're going to stay. They already got plans. They're seasoned veterans. I got vendors from Bakersfield. I got them from San Diego, LA, Santa Clarita, the high desert. They're coming from everywhere, San Luis Obispo, the vendors, and they're going to be treated with respect. And customer service is the name of the game for us. And that's one of the things that's going to separate us from some of the other shows is that we're there to take care of our vendors also, not just the customers that are coming the day of. So keep your eyes open for the West Coast Outdoor Sports Fishing Show.
Yeah, you always have a vibe to your events, that's for sure. If you've been to Latino Expo, like again, there's music and there's food and it's a sense of community networking. It's not so stiff. Going back, you hit on a topic that's important. We needed an event or something like this in our area. They used to have the Fred Hall show here years ago at Ventura. So if you live up north, more you're coming from north, like more central California or Bakersfield, to get down off the 405 and take the 5 and to get more Long Beach south is a journey, and we do need something local. And if I know something here, we live in the Channel Islands, we have this great backyard in this place to be. And if I know you have everybody from I've seen your flyer with big manufacturers and then also the local small business owners like the Landings, but also other people that make their own baits that live locally, and it's easier for them to have an event in their backyard. So you're going to have enough vendors across the board, from manufacturers to local vendors, and then bringing in definitely some people from more northern California, more up north.
Yeah, to follow up on what you said about the mom and pops vendors, they're very near and dear to my heart. They're they're entrepreneurs trying to grow their business and compete with a lot of the big brands and the big names. But a lot of the larger companies that are there that are representing, like Eric Herman with Executive Yachts. I mean, he was one of my first commitments to the expo. He just jumped in and says, I need these 20 spaces for my boats. That's the kind of things that really made me happy to see that we got local people that are willing to invest in their business and at certain levels that make a difference for us as far as organizing the event for confidence. But what we've been able to do is basically take the model of networking and marketing and following up and chasing down leads and physically pounding pavement. We've gone physically to San Luis Obispo, to Bakersfield, to Long Beach, to San Diego, back to Long Beach, Malibu, Santa Monica. We're physically going to these places, not just sending an email, not just sending a call. We're actually making contact with these people. I want them to put a face to the person. I want them to understand who they're dealing with. We are the owners of the event. We're driving everywhere, all over this California coast here, trying to get businesses involved with us because we want to promote it and grow it into the #1 event on the West Coast. There's another show out there that's huge, and they're what we want to be like, and it's a PCS show. It's a great, successful event. I give them my props. They're doing everything right. It's the model that I'd like to follow, and we're going to strive to get to that point. And we have all the ability to do it, and we have the knowledge and the know-how and the time. I don't work expos on the weekends. This is a full-time job for me, and it's what I do for a living. And we are also the owners of Expo Marketing, which allows us different avenues to advertise for pennies on the dollar versus what other people would be paying. You know, we do our own print, our own digital marketing. Everything is done in-house. So we're able to pass that savings on down to the vendor.
I'd like to say real quick, since you mentioned that, I saw this poster, and I don't know if you can see it real well there on the camera, but this was, I found it at KVTA Studios. I was over there doing my morning thing, and that is the best flyer I think I've ever seen. It grabs your attention. It's frameable. That's pretty awesome. So you guys are doing very nice on your promotional materials.
This is on a holographic printer. It's not even paper, it's vinyl. You can stretch that, you can put that on a window, you can stick it to something, it'll stay there for 10 years. Weather resistant, UV protected, everything.
It's awesome.
That's the way we print. We do all our posters. If you had to pay for them, you wouldn't pay for them because you couldn't afford them because the material is so expensive. But we only use it for ourselves, and wholesale is the only way to be able to afford that type of stuff. And so we're able to, we bought the machine for us to use, not for business, but if it ends up making us some money on the side, we don't have a problem with that.
Well, Adam has great partners like Richard, that I seen him last night at the mini mixer. He's not, Adam's the one out that you see more the public eye. And then he has a great partner like Richard that makes sure other little details, are taken care of. And then you're adding Dr. A, which is a ball of fun on his own. And
with Fish X Adventures.
Yeah,
he's a Fish X Adventures guy.
And then, like Adam just broke it down to you. I want to reiterate on that part that he takes the time that he's going to make sure that this event will be around for years. So you could count on the vendors being taken care of. You could count on you having a good time because he does all those little details to make the people feel welcome and at home, to make them want to come back and repeat. So again, seeing what you do already. Now, I'm going to jump in a little bit and act like I had something to help with Adam getting back on the water. It was his birthday, and what was it at Sugar Beats or something? And I got him a gentleman's pass to go on the gentleman. And I actually have the video. It's me, him, my buddy James that you guys see from Average James, and then we also have George Vandenberg.
He's the weight guy.
The weight guy, yeah. And he was out fishing with us. Remember, we were fishing little red snappers right up against the one of the rigs outside.
Yeah.
But since then Adam's joined he's part of a fishing club that I went on a 2-day trip with. He's fishing all the time now on charters, got some bluefin and some yellowtail and halibut. But I don't know. I know he fished, but I think I helped start the bug back in him by just giving him that simple birthday present to get him on the gentleman with us. And yes, it is on Real Anglers YouTube. You can go back and see it. There's Adam right there catching red snapper with us on the TV show. So again, that's the kind of friendship and partnership and stuff that we have going back and having fun.
Well, fishing is, what people don't understand. If you haven't done it, you're not going to understand it. Fishing is for the soul. You don't have to have the best day on the water. As long as you're with the right people and take a look at the islands, you look at the water, the dolphins, the marine life out there. Yeah, a good fishing day is great to catch a couple of nice big fish or whatever. But sometimes, if it's a bad fishing day, I just sit back, chill out, relax, get my camera out, and I start taking pictures because it's not all about just fishing. Yeah. It's about enjoying it out there. And I've had the pleasure, like Kevin says, since I started fishing again, I've done a 10-day, 3-day, 5-day, 6-day. I went on the XL, the #1 sports fishing boat in the U.S. for a 10-day with some of my guys from Los Crudos Fishing Club. And, we really enjoyed it. And I got a whole different outlook on fishing for the last 10 years. And I just so happened to live across the street from one of my mentors, a friend of mine named George Gonzalez.
George's a good friend of ours.
Yep. Who's been teaching me all the ins and outs about fishing and who not to listen to and who to listen to. And it's usually don't listen to nobody but him is his rule. Yeah. And, I can't argue with him when he outfishes everybody.
Yeah, man.
So what are you going to do? Argue with the guy that's beating me at jackpot every time I get a big fish? I can't do that.
I remember he tied when we were on that 1.5-day trip.
Yep.
And he had to tie my, I didn't know how to do the,
oh yeah.
I didn't know how to do the, cause I usually fish mono. I don't fish braid. And I'm used to fishing tuna. Like you just throw anything at them and they'll bite. But this was a finesse trip. And we had to fish. Yeah.
Pick your batch of fish.
Yeah. And they were getting ready the night before while we were getting drunk in the parking lot. Right. So when we get out to the fishing grounds, I'm trying to scramble around to get my gear. They bought me some boots too. Maybe a good pair of deck boots for all the work that I do. I remember we had a little party in the parking lot. But sure enough, man, I'm like, what are you guys getting ready for? These are stupid tuna. They're gonna eat like nothing. Sure enough, in the morning, George, help me set up with this uni knot. And
that was very finesse fishing.
Yeah.
They were biting only on 20-pound line, 25
So the way that he would just cast out, get bit, he'd order a beer and literally sip his beer while he tired out the fish and then just weld it in.
Yep.
I remember it was like a work of art. He had like 6 to my 1, and literally. So I remember being humbled enough to be like, yeah, I should listen to George too.
Yeah, George and Jason, those two guys. Yeah, you got to look out for those guys. When the bite is on, man, they're bagging fish. You don't even realize you got one fish in. They put 3 in the bag already.
And those are guys that I grew up with too. They started out working on boats out here in pinheads and deckhands and fishing with those same guys. And now they run the tugboat. So
yeah, they're boat captains out there. I think Brusco.
Yeah,
Brusco. Yeah,
right there at the port where the ships come in. So
yeah, but I think fishing is one of the things that is a big loss. I mean, if you take your kid out fishing, you teach them how to fish. It's just something that if they like it, they're gonna love it. If they don't like it, you're gonna know of motion sickness or something like that. But there's ways around that, But definitely get on the water anytime you can, even if it's just a whale watching trip. Or I highly recommend it. It's therapeutic. It's fun. It's relaxing. Unplugged from the land. It just feels great.
We call it vitamin C, or get your therapy, and vitamin C is SEA. And I know that, on top of that, you also help out with Brian Barber's Mission Fish, and you do your guys' Lion Club does the barbecuing for all the veterans and stuff. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, for years we've been cooking for Mission Fish, which is the program Brian Barber put on for veterans with multiple issues, not issues, but PTSD, or just living alone, people that need to connect and get out on the water. But his mission is to help veterans that need to get on the water, that need a distraction, that are dealing with some PTSD and issues, and get them on the water and let them hang out with each other, let them have a real fun day. They all take home a bag of fish, fillets. Everybody fishes, everybody takes home fish. And when they're done with their fishing, they wrap up. There's about 120, 140 of them. They come back to the landing, and the Ventura Downtown Lions Club barbecues for them and feeds them all. Yeah. That's our gift to them, and we've been doing that since I got in the club, and I've been cooking for them since I got in the club. That's one of the things I do. I am also.
What's your name? What's your nickname?
I'm the
Raging
the Raging Bull in my club, but I'm also the grill master. I'm the barbecue chair for our club.
Yeah, and again, if you want to see some of this work, you'll see that on the Real English Fishing Show too. I actually filmed 3 or 4 of Brian's trips, so that way people could see the message that he's trying to get across and sharing that with the Mission Fish. It's fishing and healing. We have a couple of things in our front. Sorry, I can't remember the acronym by name, but yeah, it's about them fellowshipping together and healing. And fishing, interactive, sharing, and healing. There, I remembered it, and that's what the fish stands for, Mission Fish. So just wanted to kind of give you guys more of a background on what Adam does in the fishing industry, what he does in our local community, so that that the people that are behind this particular event aren't just promoters. These are actually fishermen. These are people that care about our area, people that give back considerably. And I just wanted to give a bigger picture on him, besides just promoting his fishing show, giving your flowers at the same time. But
exactly, what makes the world go around is people helping people. And at the end of the day, you plant seeds, you watch them grow. Me and Kevin, we've been growing together for years. I've seen him grow. I'm super proud of him, what he's accomplished in the time since I've met him. And, again, doing good stuff for kids and having that be a passion is huge. And it's not a lot of people that have the time to do that. It's not always the winning battle. It's sometimes you got to take your lumps and you learn from it and you keep chugging away. And that's
like fishing.
That's Kevin. Well, that's Kevin's personality. Okay, there's a wall here. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out the other way. And we'll get it done one way or the other.
That's just like fishing, man. And that's what kind of we teach at our program, is that you got to build a confidence 1 or 2 times. But also, I wanted to ask you, when you started fishing again, you go on those trips. If you want to give people a little insight, and this is kind of what we teach, is when you get on the boats, and we're gonna switch over. I'd like to hear more about different vendors, because it's just not a fishing event, right? It's an outdoor event that you guys have going on. But when you say take your kid on a boat or start somewhere, when the deckhands and the crew members are out there, when you're just getting started, even myself, doing that tuna trip, the mentorship, or we call it mentorship here. I'm sorry, I don't want to confuse you, but the help and development that you get from the crew members on the boat is a big help, right? So you don't have to be intimidated.
You cannot be scared to ask for help. Those guys are there for that. They're there to help you get set up. Ask them while the bite is not on, though, because
On the way out?
once when the bite is on, all you can do is grab fish and throw them on the deck and get your line back in the water. They're always happy to help, but when you got think about 20 people all fish on a bite, and some of them are expert fishermen, some of them are mediocre fishermen, and some of them are still learning. So you got the one guy that'll be on that same fish for 25 minutes and one guy that'll bring that fish up in 1 minute.
Yeah.
The same fish, because he has faith in his gear, because he knows what he's fishing with. So some of the new guys they're a little concerned they're going to lose their fish, but you got to have faith in your gear. So proper gear is one of the keys to bringing the fish into and putting them on the deck. But your deck hands are there to help you. Don't be scared to ask them. Don't be scared to ask somebody standing next to you. Everybody wants to help and teach. But the best time to do it is not when they're on a fish.
Yep. Guilty.
Yeah.
It's like me and the tuna trip. So I that's why I say that I'm not too bold to say that I go out and whack them every time either. I've been that guy too that didn't ask and just assumed, and then on the way out in the middle of the bite, I'm like, I'm not getting bit asking for help because I thought, no big deal. But he's right. So tell us a little bit more about. Do you have any questions, Scotty? Before?
No, I just wanted to congratulate Adam, and because I've been a fan of his, whether he knows it or not, because of the way that your Latino expos work. They are. I described it last week when we were doing the little preview of the show, that it's a networking event, but you make it feel like it's a networking event full of all friends, and that makes everything so natural for everybody to get business done. And I just wanted to mention that because I've been very impressed with that as time goes on. So keep it up, my friend.
Well, I appreciate that. And, one of the reasons for that feeling that you have is that what a lot of people don't think, they think that I'm out every expo beating the bushes trying to find new vendors. I am doing that, but I have about a 75 to 80% retention.
I believe
from one expo to the next. I have my people that only do the spring expo. I have my people that only do the fall expo, but a majority of them are in both. And that's about 70% are in both of them. And then about another 20% either do, on top of that, do one or the other. And then I got to hustle and sell and push about 15% of those booths that are left. But it's because we deliver. What you do in business, if you create enough opportunities for people to network and do business and create business, they'll come back. Mm-hmm. It's like build it and they will come, right? Okay. So if they're not doing business at my event, why would they be with me? I have vendors that have been with me for over 25 expos for 15, 16 years. There's a handful, and why would they be there? They're there because they know their product and they know how to sell, and they're honest, and they're going to come back because they're going to back up what they said the first time. Mm-hmm. If you've been to my expo and you did business with somebody and you can't remember them or you forgot about them, you can come back to the expo in 6 months and you're going to find them again. Yep. They'll be there because my vendors are solid. I have nothing but respect for all my vendors. I couldn't do what I do without them. I deliver, I keep my word, I keep my promise, and they do too. And it's a two-way street. And that same model that we have for the Latino Business Expo is exactly what we're putting into the West Coast Outdoor Sports Fishing.
So tell us about some of these vendors and some of the new vendors that we could see there. Well, I know some of them. I think I hoped you get a couple, but
well, everybody's aware of Eric's Tackle, of course. He's one of my very good friends, and he's been helping me a lot with a lot of this. But this poster that I have right now, we're getting ready to update it today. I got about 30 more logos that are going to be going on it. But we've been able to secure, Avid, Accurate, Fishing Syndicate, podcast. What's that? Crank, Cast and Crank podcast. Yeah, Stardust, Santa Barbara Landing, Ventura Landing, Captain Hook's Landing, Specialty Marine, Executive Yachts, Aqua Traction, Parker Boats. A lot of these people that we have here, some of the home-based businesses, we got Snap-on Baits, Madam Lure. These people make their own baits in their garage. They design them, or their warehouse, wherever they work. And they work on their tirelessly, but 10 to 12 hours a day to make these baits for the demand. They have to work 10 to 12 hours a day, some of these guys, depending on how many people they have. And, their swim baits are unique and people love them. So a lot of the small mom and pops place anglers. Angler R is a custom pliers guy out of Santa Clarita area, and they're coming down. And I just think that the idea of supporting a lot of our local businesses, there's about 80% of the vendors that I have right now are from Ventura County.
Cool, man.
And
I know we'll be
think
there. I
that's
see our
amazing.
logo on
Yeah,
there.
you're there. Yeah, I
Real
got
Anglers, Community Kev
Yeah.
will be there. Real Guppies. So
yeah. Mission Fish will be there. Real Guppies will be there.
yeah, it looks like you have. Do you have any maybe some agencies? Anybody show up like NOAA or Department of Fish and Wildlife? or the
Noah will be there.
Coast Guard or
California Conservation Association,
CCA?
CCA will be there. Noah will be there. I'm working on Parks and Recs right now. They're going to be there. I don't know at what level, how they're going to participate, but they're in. So I got a lot of nonprofits there that are out there for education, for fishing, and for youth. But one of the vendors that follows me with all my events that really caught me off guard until I saw him at all the other shows is my Cutco company. Yeah. They don't mess around. They found out about the event. They go, we're in. Yeah. I didn't have to just put me down. Give me the date. Yeah, we're available. That's it. Then I send them the paperwork and they're in. And because they know me, they've worked with me for about 3 years. And that's what I love when I get the cross promotion from one event to the next, that there are people that have already worked with me that want to do both events. And when that happens, and there's people that I don't have to explain myself to or work as hard for. But a lot of new vendors coming in. I understand that, we're the new kids on the block, but we're not the new kids on the block when it comes down to expos. That's right. Between me and my partner, Richard, we've done over 100 events. We've done over 35 successful expos. We've sold them all out and have not ever had a bad event. And knock on wood, we're not starting this year. So please keep your eyes open for the West Coast Outdoor Sports Fishing Expo. There'll be more information coming. There'll be the ability to get some comp tickets for those of you guys who are listening to Kev here.
Yeah, we have you guys donated some, so we have our surf fishing charity tournament coming up on March 30th, and everybody that signs up will get a ticket to the show. And real quick, I just want to throw in that this is May 3rd, 4th, and 5th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a 3-day event at the Ventura Fairgrounds. Mark your calendars, May 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 2024 at the Ventura Fairgrounds. $15 at the door. Children under 12 are free. First responders, military, and law enforcement with ID are free as well. So come on by 1 day, 2 day, all 3 days. We'll be there all 3 days. You might not be able to do it all in 1 day, but as many vendors as he has. So again, that's a 3-day event, Ventura Fairgrounds. The West Coast Outdoor Sports Fishing Expo is May 3rd, 4th, and 5th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. those 3 days.
www.sportsfishingexpo.com for more information.
Do you have room for any other vendors if people are listening and want to jump in?
Absolutely. If anybody's interested in getting more information in regards to how to participate as a vendor at this event, please contact me direct. I'll give you my direct cell phone number on this podcast only, 805-216-1927. Or you can go to www.sportsfishingexpo.com.
Cool, man. And Adam just gave us some tickets when he came in, so we'll actually have some tickets here at the Guppy Learning Center, 2741 South Victoria, Oxnard, California, at our Guppy Learning Center. Now, I'm going to jump in and ask, because as soon as I seen Adam was throwing this together, I wanted to ask, how can I help? Because, again, I knew that we needed something like this up here in our area. If there was any contacts that I could help Adam secure, I wanted to see about having our booth, but able to put all 3 of the brands in there, Real Guppies, Real English, so it'll be one shot, and then also being able to do a podcast there to get to interview some of the vendors. I like the stories, and I like the ones that some of our local people that might not get as much publicity, and those dreamers that are out there that are trying to make a name in this fishing industry that sometimes can be hard to get into. So I'm looking forward to interviewing some of the local guys as well to get their story out and let people know about their brands, as well as talking to some of the big manufacturers as well. But I knew this was going to be a solid event, and I wanted to be a part of it and help in any way that we could. And again, that's why we wanted you to be our first interview as soon as he started back up. You were the first name. I told Scotty, hey, let's see about getting Adam in here. And, like you say, the term used the other way about supporting each other in community, we call it is cross-pollinating, right? You can plant the seed, but if you're cross-pollinating, meaning taking something over here and dropping it off over there and then watching it grow, man, that's one of the best ways to network.
Networking bees, baby. Networking bees.
That's right, man. What else you got, Scotty? Let's let Scotty jump in there. Come on.
I really don't. I got what I wanted to say out. I'm looking forward to this event. Again, I'm just very impressed with everything you do. It's you take the standard expos and things, you take them to another level. And I think everybody who goes to these events, everybody who partakes in these events will see that.
We got about 5 minutes. The reason why I wanted to say this is because there's a backstory on why Adam, as long as he's been networking and as long as his family's been in this county, what made you want to do it the way that you do it versus maybe chamber or slower events? I know there's something in you that drove you to network this particular way on your own style.
Well, I'll use the same language I used when I described some of the expos I went to. I just felt like I was in a room full of menopause, like menopause mansion is what I used to call it, because nobody was having fun.
Yeah.
And I told my partner, I said, after going to an event, I said, you know, I can put a better expo on than this with the contacts I have in my phone. And that was in 2006, I believe.
And it wasn't in a disrespect. You just said this isn't the best way business should be done, and you're right.
It's not fun.
So it wasn't like you just thought, you know what, this needs a little jump start or something.
Times have changed. You know, back in the day, a mixer was a mixer. There was business, there was cocktails, music, fun, this and that, and people were doing business without all the hoopla on the bar. There was more business being done on a cocktail napkin than on a contract. The reason I know this is because I was a bartender for 30 years. So I used to witness all these events and these people doing business and this and that, and how much fun they were having. And then when I'd go to expos that were being organized by entities, no need to say names, but you walk in and it's now they're trying to turn the page and get a little more exciting. But back then, when I started the expo in 2006, it was like walking into a cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
It was there was no vibe, there was no music, there was no flavor, there was no
people weren't being themselves.
There was no tequila. It was just that. So you know what? When I told my partner I can do something better than this with the contacts in my phone, he goes, "Well, let's do it." So everybody that I approached told me it's a bad time to do it. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it because the market, the real estate market. Well, I'm a realtor. My partner's a broker, and we understood the market better than most people. So we said, well, we're going to do it anyway. So we did it, and sure enough, the first one we did was at the 4 Points by Sheraton in Ventura. We had like 62 vendors, and we had over 2,000 people show up. So from that point forward, we weren't even able to work our own personal booth that we set up for ourselves. So we decided, I told Rich, I go, I guess we need to get out of the real estate business because it sucked at the time. If anybody remembers, it was the middle and right at the beginning of the decline in 2007. So we started doing expos to compensate our income and to network and generate leads. And fast forward from 2007 to 2024, we're getting ready to wrap up our 29th expo in April, on April 25th for the Latino Business Expo. And that's where that started. Now, that's the same story I want to be telling in 10 years about this West Coast Outdoor Sports Fishing Show that we're putting on. And I will work hard for everybody until from sun up to sundown if I have to make it happen. And so will my partners.
Hey, one time, it's funny. I remember you brought me, I think I was going, I forgot what expo I had to do. And literally this dude meets me like at 9 o'clock in like Del Taco parking lot. Remember?
Oh, for that
vinyl.
You
did my vinyl. Yeah, you did my banner. And literally he's meeting me at 9 o'clock at night because I had to take off in the morning somewhere. And there's Adam meeting me. I think it was like Del Taco, right?
Yep, like it was right there, right by Del Taco, Fifth Street, Ventura Road.
Right there by your house. I remember meeting him in Del Taco doing midnight, late night transactions in the parking lot. But this time it was all legit.
Trust me,
this dude works his butt off, man.
You have no idea how much time I've sat there and looked at my wife giving me the look while she's in the car playing a video game while I'm in the park. I'm in the parking lot selling booths to anybody that'll talk to me. And this is at 9 o'clock at night, leaving Cabo Seafood and Cantina. Somebody coming out of Pep Boys back in the day. Hey, are you that expo guy? Yeah. Hey, I want to talk to you. I go, okay. Boom. Half hour later, I sell him a booth. I go back to the car and I apologize to my wife. And she goes, I know, just get me home. You know, because she knows me. My wife knows that I'm ABS, always be selling, because
he's down on his business. People.
You know, it's sales is a tricky game. You're only as good as your last deal. And I've been doing sales since the age of 9, and I still have my clientele, and I still love what I do. It's all about delivering and keeping your word and having a code of ethics for yourself in this industry. And, supporting nonprofits, get involved with these people that are trying to make a difference in somebody else's life. It's really important. Find something that's near and dear to your heart and get involved with it. Kevin just so happens to have the fishing program with the kids that, got me started in the beginning and got me interested. And again, I think we're wrapping up right here. I just want to say thank you guys for having me on the show. I'll be happy to come back anytime you need me or want me or want to hear what's new. Thank you again, Kevin and Scott. Appreciate it.
One more time, give the website out, please.
Website is www.sportsfishingexpo.com.
So we're gonna be wrapping it up. Adam will probably be here every quarter. He'll be a regular. We're looking to do an update, me and Scotty, 1 week of kind of events that are coming up, and then the following week we'll have a guest, and then back and forth. Sometimes you might get a 10-minute interview in there with our updates, but we're looking to kind of keep it fresh, keep content coming. So 1 week will be an interview. We're trying to plan somebody in the fishing industry or a different organization, looking for stories, unique stories to add to it. And then 1 week will be more about events that are coming up and how, what we can do out here on the water locally. So that's kind of our idea. But you will be a regular here about every quarter. And the reason I like Adam to be part of it is because I think right now there's an entrepreneurial spirit right now after the pandemic of people coming out and wondering, are they happy with what they're doing? Or they love what they're doing? Or do they feel like they're making an impact with their work? If they love baking muffins or something like that, or is that what they want to do so they could feel that fulfillment, And Adam, working within the networking business, he works with a lot of younger entrepreneurs like myself at the time. I'm still new to the game and coming alongside of them to make sure that they are thriving, not just a one and done. So you being a part of our show is to encourage other listeners, other dreamers, other pioneers, anybody waiting on the fence. Like you said, everybody told you it was a bad market to get into it, and you guys went about it anyway. There's never the perfect time to do anything. And if you just stand on the sideline waiting for the perfect everything to happen, time's just going to pass you by. So that's kind of your motivational moment for the day is don't let time pass you by. If you have a passion and it's going to take you some days, you're working until 9 o'clock, but you love what you do and you do what you love. And we really want to encourage that this season for people listening, man. So that's why we make sure you're here every couple of months, man.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for looking out for me.
Absolutely. It's Uncle Adam right here. I tell everybody, he's like my uncle last night. Oh, he's like everybody's uncle. I'm like, no, he's like my real uncle, though. For real, though. He's like my uncle, Because
heck.
Me, Yeah,
because the girls over there, they call me Theo. They call me uncle, too, the detail chicks. Yeah. So they're vendors at the expo, too. They're going to be vendors at the outdoor show.
Yeah. Get your boat detailed. They're killing it, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Got a lot of people in there. That's why I feel unworthy of not knowing all the vendors by heart, because I just did the poster for the Latino Business Expo last night, which I have about 70 vendors in my head. Yeah. And then we're working on the poster for the West Coast Outdoor Show today to update it. And there's about 75 vendors on that, that are logos that we need to add. So it's, excuse me if I can't remember all 175 vendors that I have right now at the current time, but I will be showing you guys all love in my print.
Cool. So drop off a couple of posters here, and we'll share that one and the Latino Business Expo, and we will be at both. And again, mark your calendars. We have an open house here, March 28th from 4 to 6. It's our second year in business. We're gonna have an open house and cut some cake and celebrate and see what we're doing. And then the 30th is our charity surf fishing event at Port Hueneme Beach from 8 to 11, and we'll have tickets for the expo for probably Latino Business Expo by then, and also for this West Coast Sport Fishing Expo here at our Guppy Learning Center. Again, this is Kevin Brandon, Community Kevin. You can check out everything that you hear. You can hear the podcast, you can see the TV show, and learn about the nonprofit, all at communitykevin.com. I want to thank Scotty, our engineer, who's going to cut it up and do his thing. Thank you for everything that you do, Scotty. Welcome back.
I'm glad
Looking forward to the weekly podcast. And Adam, again, thank you for showing up today, man.
My pleasure, man. Thank you.
All right, let's get to it. Let's go.